It's 2 o'clock. Welcome back to the Curse of Mantras part whatever it is. I can't remember now, but yeah. It's the battles again. 10. 10 everywhere's level 10. Yeah. Yeah. Summon to, oh my lord, I am wild. Uh-huh. music and let's save. Yes. drink. Doing well, yeah. Excuse me. Oh, gassy. This carbonated drink. Just a far around now. That's the hamlet. Death. Hope is a dangerous thing. It makes us happy, but there is a cost to it. When our reality doesn't end up lining with those hopes, all that happiness from before flips, turning into misery. I suppose I live a peaceful life, but here I am beating John to death. This memory is very similar to the first one. No, it is the first one, just a continuation of it. I'm in the future now, a year or two after I joined Xavier and his gang. It seems I've taken his teachings to heart. The beating I've given John feels identical to the one they'd given me back when I accepted Xavier's offer. I may have survived that encounter, but my soul didn't. Ace stopped being Ace, instead becoming an imitation of Xavier, a shadow. There's not enough of a difference anymore. I was a bad guy after all. I know I was in this tricky spot, but there were times I could have been kinder. I didn't even try though. Are you willing to talk now? Ace kicks the kid in the guts as he asks the question, his tone serious and harsh. Why are you doing this, Ace? I thought we were brothers till the end, you and I together, remember? Then why, Ace? John coughs some blood and lets out a sob. Betrayed and broken. Did Ace promise all that? Did I make him envision a future with me? One where we're supposed to be brothers? I glare at Ace, silently demanding answers that I know I will never get. Even if I could talk to my living self, the evil smirk on his face and look in his eyes tells me that he wouldn't bother. This Ace isn't human anymore. Xavier has moulded him into a devil. Ha ha ha, do you want to know why? Xavier's smile is gone now, raised in favour of a crueler look as he kneels down. He tugs on John's hair, forcing him to look up. 'Cause this ain't the same Ace you knew. He's one of us now, a member of our gang. He let go of John's stance, clapping Ace on the shoulder in what might be well a proud boast, judging by the smug on his face. John avoids their gazes and grows quiet. Of course, now is when I get to see a flood of memories that make watching the scene harder than it already is. Visions of John and spending time together in the backyard. He's still going on excited about something I'm growing out of, but I still humour him with a smile. Then I'm pushing him on a swing, his laughter fills the air. I shut my eyes and tried to block out the memories as they hit me one by one. What's the point in seeing them now? I can't do anything to change what's going to happen here. Eventually they do stop and I'm forced to deal with the cold, harsh reality of my past. I don't know which memories make me feel worse. Beat him, Ace. Beat him till he opens his mouth and gives us real information. Xavier gives Ace a light push, breaking him out of a daze he seems to have slipped into at some point. Don't do this, Ace. I know you don't want to. I want to shout and stop myself, but the cheering from Xavier's men is so loud and energetic that I know nothing will stop me from killing John for real this time. You all will rot in hell. You people killed my family, murdered them in front of my eyes, and you, Ace, you are no different from them. You are pathetic. A selfish, cruel human being. I hate you. I fucking hate you. John keeps yelling despite the blood spilling out of his mouth. There's determination there that's hard not to respect. I don't know if his words affected Ace or the other guys, but it did leave an impact on me. Maybe that counts as something. That's probably just wishful thinking though. Ace approaches John slowly. For a moment he just stares, and then he begins following Xavier's orders like the dog he is. The other guys eventually follow Ace's lead and join in, kicking and punching the kid without remorse. Now there is no doubt in my mind I hate myself. Police sirens break the silence, instantly putting an end to the violence. Everyone panics. Shit. Who called the police? Who fucking called the police? Xavier goes berserk after hearing the sirens. He's lost his cool, collected attitude and is now acting deranged like a frightened, scaredy cat. It would have been satisfying, funny even, if I could somehow separate it from John's half-dead body on the ground. There's a small smile on John's face as he closes his eyes and stops fighting. I know he is the one who called the police. You betrayed me, John. You betrayed all of us. There's no time for Ace, Xavier or any of the others to run. They're swarmed by men in uniform carrying guns. It doesn't take long for things to escalate and the police are forced to shoot. One by one, bodies start to drop around me. Eventually it's my turn. As I watch my eyes go wide and shut before I fall to the ground with a thud. Xavier is shot in the head, a surprised expression permanently etched on his dead face. Ace turns away from the sight as he bleeds out, eyes landing on John this time. Ace is breathing heavily now, blood pooling up underneath him and painting the pavement red. His skin goes pale and both of us know that death is around the corner. It bites his lip as, with tears well up in his eyes, forces himself to say, sorry. His hand weakly stretches out to touch John's shoulder. I don't know if John can hear him anymore. I'm sorry. He repeats the line again with a sob, tears flowing freely down his face. I can that Ace wants to say it again, but he no longer has the strength to. He closes his eyes and that's that. Both Ace and John died together there. In a weird way, I guess Ace did keep his promise. He was with John up until his last breath. They both lie facing each other, one with a smile on his lip and the other without nothing but regret that I now share. I feel guilty for dragging an innocent down with me and brutally ending his life, so much so that I don't mourn myself at all. My ending feels almost just. I take a deep breath and stop thinking, stop feeling for a moment. There are dead bodies all around me. I'm too numb to feel anything about it right now. I can blame Xavier all I want, but I'm the one who turned myself into the villain. All the action decisions I've taken are mine, and this is my fault. Hang on a second. Give me a minute now. That's it, just getting some light on the subject. I head back to Mercurio's to finish off his memories. I don't know if he's going to stop us from moving forward, but I feel like it's my job to see this through to the end. Even if we might not like the outcome, it's better to know than to stay in the dark. I'm sure that I can get Mercurio on the same page as me. Once I'm in his home, he's ready to go. I guess whatever fear he had about moving forward is gone. Let me see one of these. Hold on. We get right into the memory and find Mercurio laughing, his trademark giggle. He steps away from a project. Yeah. He looks at it again, beams. I know what it is, just like he does in the memory, even if I can't wrap my head around it. Finally, it's ready now for part 2. Part 1 was creating a sort of nanotechnology that destroys neural cells. It can even render the most capable person able to control their body. Sure, they keep breathing and they'll be aware of everything going on, but that's it. They won't be able to do anything else. To survive, they need constant care. They'll never be able to have any kind of independence. Their voice will be gone. Step 2. Mercurio holds up a letter for his college homecoming. Of course, those are bulletin board game. It's ensured that they all receive a letter saying they won some kind of awards, guarantee they'll be there. And now the rewards are ready. Maybe he'll give them a chance for redemption, to prove they've changed. But he doubts any of them are willing to do more than pretend to change, considering who he is. Mercurio gets dressed up and ready for the homecoming event, wearing a well-fitted suit. He joins others at the old college cafeteria that's been made to look twice as beautiful. Mercurio has already set up microphones so he can hear everything everyone is talking about in his ear. Of course, he hears more than one person say that they think Mercurio would end up like this, and him losing his legs seemed about right. He got too big for his own good. And there's other nicer people in the crowd. Others talk about how stupid he always has been. Another technology he's taken credit for is actually his. He must have stolen it or made up half of it. He even claimed that he made sure he was injured in the past race because he knew he wasn't going to win. It was the only way to stay relevant in the world. Mercurio can't stand it any longer. You think I'm fake, do you? A few people turn to look at him. You see exactly how real I am. He presses a button on his watch and the awards on display click softly, just one piece sliding out of place and releasing nanotech into the air. Most diseases take time, but the girl nearest the trophy starts coughing, and in the entire room, people gag and choke on their breath and fall into silence. The silence is beautiful, no more loud gossip, no more bullying, just people staying in line doing what they're told. Mercurio does a wheel in his wheelchair and watches everyone drop. Then he heads to the back door, and he made sure was open just a smidge so it didn't look locked like the others. But he can't get it to open. Between his wheelchair and his inabilities to stand, he's stuck just like everyone else. His heart races in his chest, pounding against the wall of his ribs. Mercurio struggles, trying to get out, trying to escape. He can't be the idiot that doses himself. Pain races up his arm, explodes in his chest. Before Mercurio can do anything more than gasp, his heart gives out. Just like that, in that pointless, stupid moment, Mercurio is dead among 100 or so particles, and no one is left to tell his story. The memory ends with that. I stare at the wall, then slowly turn my eyes to Mercurio. For several minutes he just stands there, unable to walk or move apparently. When he does, he gasps. I've wasted my life, I died. For those idiots, for those nobodies. Sure they were awful, but they dragged me down to their level. Mercurio. They did. I had everything in the world and I wasted it. He snorts. I wasted it on them because I couldn't let go of the past. At first I'm afraid he's going to trash his room again, that he's going to throw things, and that I'm going to have to calm him down or duck, but instead he shivers and swallows. I was no better than them. I deserve to die a stupid death caused by my own despicable act. I'm only sorry and embarrassed that now you know. I reach over and rub his shoulder. He flinches away and I bite my lip. Nothing I can say to make this better. It's already happened, judge me or don't. Nothing I ever must do now will change what happened. Mercurio just keeps staring at the wall. I know there's nothing I can do to help him. No amount of talking or comfort offered is going to make a difference when he's like this. He needs time to heal these particular wounds, not companionship. Time is something I can give him, though I'm not sure that even 1,000 years of waiting will be enough for him to recover from this. Kraken. I return to Kraken's home and he ushers me forward, not in the mood for small talk when there's so much on the line this time around. So I work the memory box and we're jerked into a treacherous storm. The waves crash onto the deck, sweeping like some overboard while others work to try and get hold of the sails. There's screaming, the sound of splintering wood, and too many languages and sounds to count. It's chaos, true and utter total chaos. Kraken is one of the ones still alive and relatively unharmed when he's washed off the ship. After struggling with the sea itself, Kraken managed to get onto a barely floating dinghy. The winds are strong as a current, and the two forces of nature work together, dragging her into a small island nearby. Waterlogged, half drowned and injured, Kraken makes it to the shore alive, but he's alone. He tries to find some warmth, some evidence that he's not alone. Maybe someone, anyone from his crew has survived. Once the sun rises, Kraken explores the island but finds nothing. There's barely more than a sandbar. There are no resources, no food, no signs of fresh water. The only way to survive is to use the bits of ship and material washed up on shore to escape. As he works and slaves over dragging pieces and parts together, he thinks about what brought him to this point, and the memory wavers, skipping back in time. A younger Kraken stares at the celebrating generals as one of his long-time comrades pats his shoulder. We've done it. Everything that can be claimed has been claimed, and all that's left is to maintain it. While the others celebrate, Kraken stops drinking. You can see the life that's awaiting him. It's filled with paper, but growing old and settling into life so boring and restricted that he might as well be a ghost of himself. But that's not him and never has been. He craves adventure. He needs it like he needs food. He needs war, goals, the thrill of combat and victory, the kind of things he can find in his own people now. So he turned to those he had defeated, any and every race, any and any person that would join him on his private ship to take command of the ocean, to loot and plunder without barrier, to make everyone equal on the sea. everyone a victim of Kraken and crew. The flashback ends and we're back on the beach watching Kraken as he finishes his raft. It's taken days based on how dry and hopeless he looks. There's a slight madness to him, a jumpiness that makes him look over his shoulder and glare at the sand as if it will rise and devour him before he can escape. He jumps onto the raft, pushing off the water, glaring at the island as he laughs. But he doesn't see the shadow swirling around the raft until it's too late, until he can't safely make it back to shore. Kraken watches it as it circles and tries to hold still in the middle of the raft. He doesn't have a weapon and he barely has his health. He's no match for anything this big. All at once a giant squid bursts through the water, tentacles snake up and over the raft, constricting around Kraken, holding him up for the squid to look at. In a glassy eyes, Kraken can see each and every squid beast, large and small, that he's hunting. He barely notices the tentacles tightening around him until he hears a crack. He tries to laugh, but the squid squeezes tight around him, dragging him closer. It's almost funny that what started him on the path to war, the path that led him to storming the island, was the noble goal of reclaiming his homeland from the squid, and that was what kills him. Violence only brought him more violence. Victory means nothing but mounting enemies. He always wanted more, and when he had everything, it meant nothing. He feels nothing, even while being squeezed to death. There's only a hollow emptiness in him. The memory ends just as Kraken takes the last halting breath. I swallow and look over at Kraken. His eyes are on the floor and he takes a slow breath. Well, that was unlucky. You managed to get off the island only to run into a giant squid. What are the odds? It's more than that. Bad luck is a lesson that isn't understood. What do you mean? If you use violence, you get violence in return. It's a cycle. Greed rewarded only please more greed in turn. I lost my mind trying to own everything, so I don't ever lose everything, and look what it got me. That's the hindsight talking, Kraken. Kraken shakes his head slightly. Ace, I regret the choices I made. This was a necessary process, and I don't regret looking back, but it will take time. Is there anything I can do? No, I'm going back to my swamp. I can, alone. I watch from the door as he trudges across the land. I'm sure I can find the swamp if I wander long enough, but Kraken needs to think, and I can respect that, and maybe that will bring him back here. I hope so, but I have the creeping feeling that I might have lost his support forever. Angel takes so long to come back to visit that I'm sure she's never going to show. Not that I blame her after last time, it was a lot to handle, which makes it all the more shocking to find her at my door a second time. She smiles and knocks on the door frame with a lightness I envy. I rub back on my heels and welcome her inside. Hi. Thanks for having me. Yeah, how are you? I'm here. I'm not sure how to respond to that comment, so I simply follow her into my own home. She smiles lightly as she looks around. The changes that have occurred, they're small, but I've no doubt that she's noted each and every detail. Did you come to talk? I have a drink. Angel shakes her head slowly. I'd like to be finished with remembering. Some bits and pieces have come, but not enough. And you're sure that you want to know? Once we do this, we can't go back. It sounds silly, but you wouldn't be the first to regret knowing the full story. Angel bites her bottom lip and then pushes her light hair away from her face, practically fanning me with her feathers. Her wings are truly gorgeous, so I almost ask her if I can touch them, but she leans towards me. There are worse things than knowing. All these memories make things confusing? Clear. I nod, trying to understand. My go-to sim was in action, so I have to take action now. Does that make sense? I suppose. Angel takes my hand and leads me to the room where the memory box is stashed. She tightens her hold on me for a moment, as if offering me back the hope I encouraged her when we last talked. I work the music box. The memory circles us. The villain walks out, slamming the door with the promise of collecting better creatures, the kind that will bring me money. Once the footsteps fade, Angel lifts us out shakily off the ground. Her eyes focus on the door for a moment, then flick to the blood on the floor. They drag the body out, but didn't bother to clean. Angel gropes along her pitiful cot and hurls the sharp little item she stole from her lover. Her eyes flick to the blood, then to the gaping mouth of the prison. The ocean seems closer somehow, louder. The crashing of the waves thunders in time with her heart as she raises the sharp item to her neck. I swallow and look to Angel. Her spine is straight and her whole body is stiff as she watches the memory play out. I see her try to pick the lock on her collar. It takes time, a montage's worth of time. She has to work it over and over until her hand is bloody. Once the collar falls to the floor, she gasps and jumps slightly. I'm free? and then her eyes travel to the sky. She stumbles a step, falling against the wall. Her fingers dig in. I'm sure that she's not going to go. She'll end up standing on the cliff's edge, left to die of starvation or thirst. Her toes curl up over the edge of the cliff, and she takes a slow breath, biting her lip as she looks down below. Hesitating once more, she looks back over her shoulder and focuses on the still drying blood. That gives her the courage. She jumps. I lurch forward as if I can catch her. Just like she told me, but she doesn't fly. She falls down towards the black nothingness of ocean, and as she falls, everything sharpens. The rolling ocean and the foam splashing against the rocks suddenly seem much more clearer. I'm sure she's going to lose herself in the ocean, that this is an elaborate suicide attempt. But then, when she lifts her arms, her feathers spraying out widely, and the wind lifts her away from the crushing ocean. It roars in fury, more water crashing and trying to drag her down. She moves her wings, banks to the side, and then corrects again. Another lift, a soft grunt, and then another flap of the wings. Slowly but surely she rises, leaving the ocean and her prison behind as she climbs into the sky. She flies away, escaping. The sun silhouettes her wings, highlighting her freedom. The memory changes and shows Angel reunited with her family. They hug her and love her, and we can see time pass where they are together, playing and happy, the kind of dream that everyone dreams of. The hunters return, led by the villain. He sees her and grins. He comes at her family, but this time Angel is prepared. She's ready to fight back. She delivers a blow that's sure to kill. Not that it saves her from this weapon aimed at her chest, tried and true. She falls, but when she dies, her family is around her, thanking her for her sacrifice. The memory melts, leaving us alone again. Angel laughs and puts her hand to her chest. All this time I was sure that I was useless and stupid and unimportant to life. I'm glad that that's not the case. I made a difference. I learned to fly. I fought for my family. I gave my life to protect them. Her eyes find me, glossed with tears, but so bright and happy. She hugs me tightly, wings rustling as she squeezes me. Thank you. Without you, I wouldn't know. I'm happy this is how it turned out. And I am. She deserves this positivity, this good news. I kiss her cheek and she beams at me, bouncing twice. I swear her wings almost catch the motion, always remember their fight to freedom. I can make a difference here too. We can be useful and take control. I smile at her optimism and nod in agreement. As she bounces back to her home, she grins and hums to herself. It's the sweetest song I ever heard. Okay, we need to save this game. And that's all for now. Join me for the next part, why don't you? Sometime soon. Whatever you're doing today, have a good one. Take care now. Bye.